All right. Do we go back to the trenches? We did have a couple offensive line questions that were very general, just concerned about offensive line play, concerned that maybe the program somehow needs to pull in a couple guys off of the transfer portal or somewhere before August opens. So let's start with the all-important offensive line and probably the weakest unit on the team since we've been having you on the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, between that and quarterback, I think that is true. And especially, when we got Mark Richt to come in and change things around a little bit, the defense actually got going, not playing that Mark D'Onofrio scheme and everything, and it was funny, listening or watching people evaluate Ed Oliver from Houston last year as a, top 10 draft pick, saying, what? I was watching Houston film, and what the hell were they doing on defense? And we're just sitting over here laughing. I was like, I can tell you what they're doing, But anyway, so the defense got going in a good direction. The offense has had its ups and downs, but offensive line and quarterback are the real big issues. So looking at this year, there are 2 seniors on the roster, George Brown and Tommy Kennedy. Tommy Kennedy, both of those guys are transfers. George Brown is a redshirt senior. He transferred 3 years ago from LSU. Tommy Kennedy is a 5th-year senior, grad transfer. From Butler. He just came over this year. I'm not sure if either of those guys are going to play. Navon Donaldson is now a junior. He was a high school All-American, freshman All-American 2 years ago. And he's going to have one of the starting spots along the line. I'm not sure which. DJ Scaife is a true sophomore. He's going to have a starting job. Corey Gaynor is a redshirt sophomore, along with Kylian Herbert, Zach Dykstra, and Zalante Hillary. Gaynor, Herbert, and Hillary are probably battling for a position on, the starting line, maybe in that 2 deep. Zach Dykstra is a little bit behind them. Redshirt freshmen, we have 2 who are John Campbell and Cleveland Reed. Campbell is battling for a position on the line as well to start. And then 3 true freshmen, Zion Nelson, who was an early enrollee, Ja'Kai Clark, and Adam El Gamal. So that is the landscape of the offensive line position right now. There is a guy who's visiting. He's a JUCO kid, immediately eligible. He has. I gotta look. Oh no! I forget his name. But he's actually visiting like today, like in the midweek, I want to say, to Miami, and so we could add currently like a offensive lineman to that group, and he profiles as a guard, this guy who's visiting. I'm trying to look up his name right now. I do apologize. I don't have it on top of my brain. But I don't think that Miami is settled enough where taking a guard is like a death knell for recruiting. You know what I mean? Like the guys who are settled as going to start are, here it is, Scaife and Donaldson. Outside of that, who knows? Ousmane Traore is the guy's name, from Hutchinson Community College, 6'4", 337. Started 11 games for them last year. So he could commit right now and then be added to that list and potentially, challenge for a starting job. One of our new guys, Kappa Kane, he wrote an offensive line kind of breakdown. We're going to have a position preview for that coming up, but he was talking about the need for the offensive line to be better, and then made some predictions for offensive starters overall, including the offensive line. But right now, I believe that his 5 was Zion Nelson, the true freshman at left tackle. Next to him, Cleveland Reed, redshirt freshman. Corey Gaynor, redshirt sophomore in the middle. Navon Donaldson, true junior at right guard. And then DJ Scaife, a true sophomore at right tackle. A lot of the comments on that article, and I say this as well, because again, I'd say to you, we do not have a uniformity of thought. We do have a diversity of thought. So everybody's not going to necessarily agree with things, even though we do it in a civil manner. Like, we do not always think the exact same because we're all individuals. I think that if Zion Nelson is going to start at left tackle, true freshman, 2-star recruit, got bumped up to a 3-star right at signing day, came in, put on 30 pounds of good muscle, was working with the ones during the spring. if he is going to start at left tackle, you have to put Navon Donaldson next to him at left guard. You just need that guy who's been in those battles, in those trenches, was a freshman All-American, bounced around a little bit last year, wanted to play tackle, put him at right tackle. That wasn't it. He's 6'6" already. Donaldson is, but you're a guard, so go inside and just stay there. But yeah, you cannot put Cleveland Reed, who's a redshirt freshman and has not played a snap or no meaningful real snaps, next to a true freshman on that side, where you're going to have the best defensive ends, the best pass rushers, those things. I would have flipped that alignment. So I would have Nelson next to Donaldson, and then probably Gaynor, and then the right side, who knows, whether that's Scaife at tackle or guard, if that's Hillary, if that's John Campbell comes in and wins the left tackle job, whether that's Kylian Herbert living up to his high school All-American billing from a while back, 3 years now. So like it's put up or shut up time for him. And I mean, yeah, in year 3, this is where, the wheat gets separated from the chaff. Guys like Danny Isadora from Cypress Bay years ago, when he came to Miami, having, called those games and seen Danny Isadora and all these things, I said, yeah, he's a guy who's not going to contribute for 2 or 3 years. Kylian Herbert was a highly, highly ranked player. It's year 3. It's put up or shut up time. So we'll see. So there is talent along the offensive line. There are guys who have stars next to their names. There are guys who people wanted. I mean, Auburn and Oklahoma offered or tried to get him on campus, and with Tommy Kennedy. Like, there were big time teams that were interested in these guys. George Brown was at LSU. Everybody in America wanted Navon Donaldson. I mean, DJ Scaife, same thing. Kylian Herbert, like I said, I mean, he was committed to Florida and going back and forth, and he was All-American. Zalante Hillary was a little under-recruited, but he was teammates with DJ Dallas, the starting running back, and that's how Miami saw him. Cleveland Reed was he was a 4-star recruit, powerlifting champion in the state of Florida. John Campbell was left tackle on a state title winning team for 8A at Orlando Dr. Phillips. All of those guys. And then, Zion Nelson, like I said, he played well, but he was thin. But he was still first team All-State in South Carolina. Ja'Kai Clark, coming from Beaufort, Georgia, where former defensive line coach, wait, no, not him. Hold on. Jalar Holly's from Beaufort. Ja'Kai Clark is from somewhere else. Excuse me, I forget. But he, is going to be like an interior lineman. But he had plenty of offers. Adam El Gamal, teammates with fellow signees, Jason Blissett. He's another guy who had plenty of offers as well. So there are guys that teams wanted up front. With this new offense and with this new offensive line coach, Butch Berry, who had worked with Dan Enos at Central Michigan as a tight ends coach when Eric Fisher was the number 1 overall pick at left tackle from Central Michigan, who started at tight end. So I was half right when I said Butch Berry coached Eric Fisher. He did. And then he switched. He was like a Eric Winston at Miami. He played tight end for a year and then was like, yeah, I'm going to make my money like with my hand in the dirt blocking. But Butch Berry, he was in the NFL for 5 years as an assistant offensive line coach. He's coached in college for many years. And just tweeted today talking about coaching offensive line is his passion, but coaching at the University of Miami offensive line is like different in a good way. So again, there's all these guys up front, and I want to see the right group come together. It looks right now like Zion Nelson's going to be that left tackle as a true freshman. And yeah, it would be an incredible ascension from a one-time 2-star recruit who was committed to Appalachian State at 6'5", 240 pounds to be 275 or 280 all of a sudden starting left tackle for the Miami Hurricanes in week 0 against the University of Florida. That would be a huge, huge leap. But if he's the guy, then he's the guy. But it's not about really any individual. It's about that collection of talent. So, yeah, I want to see the best 5. For me, it would be, as we sit here right now, Zion Nelson at left tackle, Navon Donaldson at left guard, Corey Gaynor at center, Zalante Hillary probably at right guard, and DJ Scaife at right tackle. That's who I'm personally looking at, but if that combination is slightly different and comes together, I'm fine with it. But yeah, there is talent there. There's obviously the expertise of the coach to work with, but plenty of development is needed by the individuals and the collective unit moving forward for Miami to be successful in any meaningful kind of a way.
118 folks on the line. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Listen to me. So we will have about 3,000 people, I believe, watch this video eventually. If you like what you get here on the channel, specifically with Cam, our Wednesday night conversation with Cam Underwood from State of the U at 8 o'clock Eastern time, please like the video. You can help us build the channel, and we will continue to bring this type of content and these type of conversations that are the best in college football conversation you're going to find online anywhere. We will continue. Grab the Amazon link. Does anybody in your house know about Amazon? Do any shopping on Amazon? You or anybody else? Grab the link in the description section below of any of the videos. Grab that link. Enter Amazon using that link. Doesn't cost you a penny. Don't have to buy the product you see. Just do your Amazon shopping. You will help us build the channel.